Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Carrie, part of the iMoot team, and I would like to welcome Miriam and Tabitha in Communication in 3.2. They'll be discussing forums, messages, and notifications. Take it away. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi. I'm Tabitha.
I'm Miriam.
And that's Miriam not looking at the screen here.
Hi. It's because I realized I didn't have my speaker notes.
So we're going to talk to you about communication in 3.2. We know 3.3 is out, but we only looked at 3.2. So yes, this is what you're going to get. So we've been working together forever. Feels like forever. Currently we're working at the Waidemata District Health Board.
Bad. Feels like forever. I want to get away. Okay.
So we're doing instructional design together at Waidemata District Health Board, the hospitals in our parts of Auckland. We've also been working together at Unitec, which is a large polytechnic, doing LMS administration and doing academic advice and support and things around learning strategies. And throughout the years, we've been working together for HRDNZ. You'll possibly have seen Stuart presenting at the iMoot. We've been working with him on and off for oh my gosh, more than a decade. So yes,
HRDNZ is a Moodle partner in New Zealand, in case you did not know that.
So we know a little bit about Moodle. And love to come to these iMoots and see how we can contribute. So
we're going to be talking about messaging, forums, and setting our communication preferences today. And we'll do some use case and feature stuff as well.
So ask questions.
Ask questions. Communicate with us.
Share everything.
Share your experiences. And we will try and keep an eye on the chat and respond.
So we'll start with messaging. You're going to love messaging. It's way more social networking style.
Yeah.
So to help you through messaging, we are going to step into some student lives. So
going to do a story.
Let's be Joe.
Joe, yeah.
Okay. Hi, I'm Joe. Joe wants to send a message. So when Joe is logged in, Joe can see his name at the top of the screen now and a little picture that he uploaded before of himself and a little drop-down menu with messages in the drop-down. You can also see messages next to his name in a little speech bubble, and then notifications next to that as well.
Yeah.
So the other places that you'll find messaging is if you're looking at the participants of your course, you can see next to the profile, you can see a message button and an add to contacts. So Joe is going to click on that speech bubble.
And Charlie is going to click on that speech bubble.
Oh, okay. No, wait. Now we're going to be Charlie. We're not consistent here. Okay. Charlie wants to send a message to Joe. Okay.
Okay. Right.
So he clicks on that little speech bubble and he sees a couple of things. He sees a new message, which is where he's going to go to write his new message. But he also sees a little tick. That tick is mark all your messages as read. And then he can see a little gear icon. So there's lots of gears as you're moving into the newer versions of Moodle. So in 3 everything, you start to see more gears. By 3.2, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
So
they're your friend.
Yeah, they're going to be your friend. So Charlie clicks on new message.
From here, he can search for his classmate and message them directly. If he clicks on the grey bar on the left that says search,
but there where the little arrows.
Now, Charlie is quite computer literate, so he realizes that he doesn't need to look for a button. He can just click in there and start typing, and he doesn't need to find a button.
Don't try clicking on this black text over here that says select or search for a contact, because that's not a button and that's not a link. Only that wasn't me. Only this bit that's grey, like not available. Kind of weird. The grey bit is where they click. Okay, so Charlie's going to click on there and he's going to search for his friend.
Yeah.
Peter, our friend Peter, is also trying to send a message, but he can't remember who he wants to send his message to.
Yeah, he can't remember the name of the person because in his world, most people go by their superhero handles. So, but he doesn't know what they look like. So he's going to search for the course that he knows that his friend is in.
Yeah, so Peter is taking a gravity-defying course. Okay, so he's going to find his friends using the course name. He types gravity into that box, and he'll see his course there. And then he'll see, once he's clicked on that he'll see all his classmates down here. And then he can pick the cutest, the person he wants to talk to, I mean.
Yeah. Because if he tried searching for Black Widow, it wouldn't have come up with Natasha's name.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh, Natasha, that's her name again.
So he clicks on her name, and then she goes blue like this, you see. And then over here, he can see her name up the top here, and then down here, he can see where he writes his message.
Yeah. Now, if you want to, here's a little helpful hint for you. One of the things that someone struggled with was finding out where to add somebody as a contact from the messaging interface. And I mean, I can understand because you've got an edit button over there.
There's
and
edit button.
clicking on their name on the left there where it's got them in blue, that doesn't seem to do anything. So if you want to figure out how to add someone as a contact when they've sent you a message and you don't want to have to go back to the course that you share together maybe and find them in the participants list and add them that way, then you can just click on their name up in the top where it's where the orange arrow is pointing to on our screenshot. And that shows you that bottom bit down here pops up. And from there, you can send them a message, block the contact, or add contact.
So block contact is in red, so you sort of get a bit of a warning there.
Yeah.
The block is a...
But it's also in the middle, whereas I probably would have put it down the bottom. But that's just me.
Yeah. So this is the only thing we thought was a little bit different to other social media sort of platforms where you go into messaging functions because you don't just right click on them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's right clicking on their name or anything.
Doesn't bring up
doesn't
a nice
do anything
like this. Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, you can add a contact from here.
Yeah.
Cool. So let's go back to Charlie, who Charlie and Joe, who are adding each other. They're using the old way. I imagine lots of teachers will probably still use this method, where they go into the course, they find the participants, and they open the participant.
Do we really look that sleep deprived?
And add to your contacts.
Yeah.
So here we are. We're back to Charlie messaging Joe. And so Charlie finds Joe in the search, clicks on Joe, so he goes blue. And down here he starts typing. This box is small, but we've told Charlie not to worry. Just keep typing because this box will grow, okay? It will get bigger and bigger and you'll be able to see what you're writing. And then when you're finished, you can press send.
Now note that pressing enter also sends. So if you want to put line breaks in to make multiple paragraphs, use shift enter.
Yeah. Cool. How are we going, everybody? You following what's happening?
Yeah. Did I skip the screen? No.
Cool. Okay, let's have a look at this next one.
So here we've got Natasha receiving the message from Peter Parker and Joe receiving the message from Charlie.
Yeah.
So you can see when you receive messages that just like in your social networking like Facebook and things like that, you get a little notification icon that says how many unread notifications, or in this case, unread messages you have.
Except it's a little bit more complicated because it's actually how many people rather than how many messages.
Yes. So it's unread conversations.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rather than messages.
Yeah. So you click on the little message thing and then this pops up here and it's got your either make a new message or mark all as read or go to the gear, but you can also just click on the message header here and that will let you read the rest of the message.
Yeah.
You see here with Charlie, he can't read the whole thing, so he'd have to click on it to read the rest of the message.
That's right. So once you've clicked on it, so Joe can reply to Charlie when he's clicked on the message. So just by writing down the bottom where the orange arrows are and pressing the send button or pressing enter.
He can also just come up here to edit and delete if he doesn't want to keep that message.
Yeah.
There's a delete function. It's hiding
He
inside
doesn't
the
want
edit button.
Charlie's messages in his messages anymore. You can delete them. So,
sorry.
That's all right. I'm the same. So one of the things we're going to go over, which may look a little bit daunting, but and it sort of still is, but it's a lot better than it used to be, is the notification settings.
We're not up to that.
Aren't we?
No. We're going to show you the notifications button first. Okay. So we'll just show you the notifications button before we go through the preferences.
Oh,
okay.
Thanks.
Cool.
Sorry.
So remember we had messaging here next to your name. You've got a little bell. The bell is for notifications. So we've given you two views here to give you a bit of an idea. So Steve is a student and he submits an assignment and his notifications are set up in such a way, or the course notifications are set up in such a way that Steve can see a notification, you have submitted your assignment. So yay, you did it right. So he can see that he submitted. Down here, Pepper, who is the teacher of this course, Pepper's amazing, she can see a notification that Steve has updated his submission for an assignment. So she gets the notification as well. Now, there are some conditions on those working. You have to set up the settings correctly.
The settings in the assignment. These will only really work if you have set it up so that teachers get notified when an assignment submission has been submitted, and that students get notified when they submit an assignment submission thing.
Okay. So if you click on that notification.
As a teacher, this is the teacher.
As a teacher. So if Pepper clicked on this, she would see that the assignment is here, and then she would see the grade button. So she goes straight there and she can grade the assignment
immediately,
which is
pretty
nice.
nifty.
Yeah, fast way there. The student also sees, if they click on it, they go straight into the assignment and they see they have submitted for grading, and it is not yet graded because it's just the notification of upload. Yeah. So later on it would say you've got a grade and you can read your grade.
Yay.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So you also get notification if you earn a badge, which we have been earning at iMoot. I hope everybody's earned some badges.
I mean, you guys have probably been getting a ton of notifications from the iMoot site. So you've seen what the badge notifications look like and what the forum notifications look like and all that sort of stuff.
Again, if you click on it, or the writing or the view full notification, you get taken into that notification. And so with the badges one, you see you have been awarded a badge. You get a link to go to the information about the badge, or you get a link and you get a link to the manage the badges. So that's pretty cool. We like that.
Yay. So
forums.
we took the screenshot from the iMoot site of the forum notifications because on our local installs of Moodle 3.2, we couldn't get the forum notifications to work because they appear to be linked to the cron job. So we don't have the cron jobs running on our local installations of Moodle, so the forum notifications weren't working, but there were plenty of forum notifications going on the iMoot site for us to take screenshot. So you guys have probably seen this. This should look familiar from yours.
Yeah, and if you don't want to read all the notifications, you make use of that mark all as read.
That tick box is very useful. It helps clear all those notifications.
It obviously doesn't do anything in the forums like deleting or anything. You can still go read all of these posts in those forums. It just clears them from your notification thing.
Oh, I wonder why Janice has only got badge notification and hasn't got any forum notifications.
Because your settings are probably different.
Possibly. We'll go through the settings in a moment, and then you can check yours.
Okay, so let's take a look at
preferences. Right, this is where I tried to skip ahead to. So my intro about preferences now.
Yeah, very good. Okay, so the first thing we noticed is that the admin preferences were different to authenticated user preferences, and that will matter later because we'll explain. But first?
Yeah, you can, but we didn't,
Yeah.
and we weren't, and it was very late.
Yeah. So, okay, how do you get to your preferences, right? So you saw
Thank you.
You saw the little gear icon. Yeah, that's one way of getting there. So that was in the messaging and the notifications, the little gear. There's also when you go to your own user profile icon at the top there, you'll see the little drop down arrow and you can get to preferences here.
Mm-hmm.
I think you should go that way myself, because I think at least once you should go through all the preferences.
Yes.
Yeah, so that you know what they're all about. Because today we're only talking about communication, but it's really worth noting how many other preferences are now available to people in a really quick, easy way. And if you're an administrator or a support person, you're going to potentially start getting people calling you about,
because they've changed their editor preferences because they wanted to click things.
Yeah. So note, this is all there, and they'll probably start clicking on them. Yeah. Cool. What else did we want to tell you? Oh yeah.
No, that was it for that screen.
Okay, cool. Right.
So we are interesting. Thanks, Stuart. It's an interesting conversation about cron jobs going on the side there. The first lot of screenshots that we're showing you are the notification preferences that an site administrator sees, because they're different to the notification preferences that a authenticated user, which is everyone else on the site,
I think the admin had about 11 more options.
Like that.
Yeah,
there were more options.
Yeah. Do note that there is a disable notifications over right at the top here,
which will just disable all notifications.
Yeah. So this is nice and easy to look at here. So you have on the left, you've got assignment, feedback, forum, as you can see what the notifications are, and they're grouped. And on the right, you've got whether you're online or offline, whether it's web or email. Okay, and it's just red and green, and you touch them, touch the on or the off, and it just switches. It's really, really easy to use.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't too difficult before, but you had like the drop down thing that says email.
Yeah,
there were options.
This is easy.
This is a bit more graphical.
We did notice that web and email are the other way around on
our two local installs, because I'm running Windows and she's running Mac, and this is mine, where I had web on the left and email on the right, and on hers it had email on the left and web on the right, which confused us for a moment. But okay.
Anyway, let's go through them. So they've got lesson and quiz. Yeah. So yes.
So the quiz notifications settings are not visible to authenticated users.
Should I zoom in?
Now in the chat, forum. In the forum of our course, somebody said, I wonder if they're enabled for students. And if they are, then that seems like a bit of a fault, because people aren't students at a site level, generally. And the notifications are enabled or disabled at a site level. So
yeah, we thought quiz should be available. You should be able to see all
certainly
these
confirmation of your own quiz submission should be available for authenticated users.
But I don't know.
We dug around in the permission settings and we discovered it was disabled by default.
So
zoom back out again.
Can I zoom in just as So there's quite a lot of system.
People can make it bigger if they want to on their own screen.
Quite a lot of system notification options here.
Yeah. And a lot of these are very much admin based, like system notices about problems and things. We're not down to 100%. Yeah, there we go. So there were some things around in your forum preferences. So rather than the notification preferences screens, there were some things in the forum preferences screen that could also affect notifications. Although somebody in our last talk said, I don't think it does affect your forum notifications. So,
but we noticed in forum preferences there is this forum tracking thing that says when sending forum post notifications, mark the post as read. So we sort of thought that maybe we'd point that out to people just in case they're wondering what's going on.
Yeah.
So Right, yeah.
So this is
we're still in admin.
we're still in admin.
Yep. So they can see if enrollments are ending, expiring, inbound message configuration, and they've got an event monitor there. And we'll have a look at the user stuff.
So the user stuff. So this is the other way around, our email and web.
Okay. Again, they can disable all notifications just at the top there.
And it's not the other way around because it's the user. It's the other way around because it's a different operating system that was taking these screenshots.
Okay, so yeah, they have one assignment notification option, a couple of forum and lesson ones.
Yeah.
A lot less system options.
Yeah.
But they do
But there is manual enrollment expiry. So if you manually enrolled someone but said it expires in a year, then the user will actually get notified if they have this turned on that their enrollment is expiring, which is good. I mean, I like it.
Quick, finish your work. You're about to expire.
I know.
Thanks, Gareth. Okay. Again, inbound message configuration. They get to know about that. And then, so we went and looked at what's actually happening for authenticated users. So we wanted to check what
was happening with
deal?
notifications. So we just went to, I just did a search in the checked permissions for a particular user and typed notification in and saw what was and was not allowed. And when I typed in notification, everything said no. But what popped out to me was the quiz activity.
Down here.
So those were set to no. And I think get a notification message when an attempt is submitted is designed to go to teachers, I think, rather than students or students. It's a bit unclear.
Yeah. And get a notification message when an attempt becomes overdue and needs to be submitted. Like, yeah, it's kind of weird. Like, well, shouldn't they see that? Yeah, I don't know. Anyway.
We just poked a little bit to try and work out why students didn't get notified when they submitted a quiz.
So the authenticated user role didn't have any options for the feedback part, and they didn't for feedback notification or quiz, and less for the system and no event monitoring. So it was a little bit different, but whatever. So forums. There's some cool stuff happening in forums and new developments. So
they're becoming a little bit more sophisticated.
Yeah. Forum moderating is getting a little bit easier because there's things like discussion locking.
Yes.
Yeah.
Pinning.
Yeah, pinning.
You can pin posts now.
Yep. And
which is great.
And marking as read. So let's go and have a look, shall we? Okay. So here we are. We're in a forum. So this is
Chemistry for Superheroes.
So Tony Stark is having some problems with his suit. It's quite heavy, Iron Man. So he sent us through the specs and we've distributed them to the students. And so they're now writing in the forum about what ideas they've got around updating his suit. So Charlie's set his
forum preferences to highlight unread posts so that it's easier for him to see what he has and hasn't looked at yet.
And when he gets a notification, we don't want it marked as read because he likes to still be able to go back into the forum and see what's going on.
That's right.
Yeah, up the top here you can see he's got 2 unread posts. So yeah. Other users, though, they might not actually care about Tony Stark's suit. It might not be relevant to them. They don't want to work on it. So they can just mark all of the conversations as read for the whole course, whole forum discussion, all of the discussion threads in the forum. Or they could just mark the
ones that they don't want to look at.
Yeah. So if there are other discussions going on here, they could just do that thread and look at the other discussions.
And it's nice that little tick icon is consistent with the one that is used in the notification settings and the discussion notifications. So that little tick is has been universally used as the mark as read tick. which is nice.
Yeah. What we'd really like to see, though, we'd really like is the no, let me untick it. I want to read it again. So we'd like
Mark is unread.
Mark is unread.
Or flag.
Or flag or something.
Or
like follow up tomorrow or whatever.
Yes.
So we use the scenario where we read our messages on our phone in the cafe or on the train on the way home, and we go, I really need to attach a file and do some other stuff, and I've got lots of writing. I don't want to write this on my phone. I want to go back to that forum post and work on it when I get home. But you've read it now, so you just got to remember. So hopefully in a future version we might see some more sophisticated stuff in there about how you manage
some
your
sort of
discussions.
marking that you want to come back to something in some way.
Yeah.
Flagging, marking.
Yeah. Color coding.
Yeah, someone said
put it in your calendar for like tomorrow or something.
Add it
Drag
as a calendar
and drop
thing.
it onto your calendar. Yeah, whatever. Some cool stuff would be
It's
great.
really future blue sky thinking that you got there. Okay.
Discussion locking. So we are looking at the forum settings. Okay. So we're inside the forum settings and we're looking at the discussion locking setting.
There is an option to pin when you post a new discussion. You can pin it.
Yes.
I probably said it very briefly in the introduction, but yes, it is worth noting that is an option and it is a great option. Especially if, as a lecturer, there's certain forum posts that you just want to make sure always stay up the top.
Yeah. So when all the students have discussed Tony Stark's suit and that period of inactivity happened, so there's not been any comments for a couple of weeks, I think we're pretty much ready to send the specs back that we've come up with to Tony. So let's lock it off. We don't care about any more comments after that, right?
However long of an activity.
Yeah. So you can set how many days, weeks, months in here. You can lock that discussion off. Yeah, Stuart says pinning and locking should have been in the forum years ago. Crazy, considering forums are a central part of mental philosophy. Yeah.
And forums are quite old technology.
Yeah, they've been around for yeah. So that's sort of the basics of the changes in forum. And
that's us.
Messaging and notifications. So
questions, comments, cries of pain or joy.
And thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming. Thanks for joining.
Single symbol discussion
with groups.
Groups, groupings.
Yes. Well, ladies, that was an amazing presentation. We all learned lots of new ways to make sure that we are notified of everything and there's no excuses that we don't know what's happening. So
turn all the things to green and you have no excuses.
So Gareth asked a question. He said, if there's one thing you could improve in the messaging system, what would it be and why?
I'd like group chats.
Group chats?
Yeah, like group,
in the
messaging.
Or asynchronous or in messaging. Yeah.
Messaging.
Yeah, that would
group
be nice.
Messaging.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah,
like you do on Facebook Messenger, you can have group messaging.
Yeah, you're not happy with how you do that in forums?
No.
Oh.
Yeah, it is a chat, but you without having to go into the chat room and permanently be in the chat room.
Yeah, because the chat you have to be there at the same time, and then like you even if you record it, like it gets to a point and like okay, now the chat is closed, and so you've got the recording.
And you sort of have that in forums, but
Yeah.
you've got to press reply and you've got to post and all that sort of stuff. Whereas messaging feels like it's just a little bit more natural.
Yeah, and chat is also not going to send you a notification each time somebody posts.
Janice would like more formatting of text and adding images and attachments. Yes.
I would quite like messaging to be more like a messaging app, like a proper app.
And in the forum, you don't get to choose the group of users. Of course, it just goes to the forum.
Yeah, no, you want to choose your own groups. Yeah, definitely, because that would be kind of interesting, like as a social experiment. Yeah.
A lot of yeah.
But you know what? You turn off the messaging, the bullying happens somewhere else. So all you've done is make it not as easy for you to manage the bullying and support people. My 2 cents. Your
2 cents.
Was I supposed to give my 2 cents?
I agree.
messaging as its own little app would be quite nice as well, just like you have with your Facebook or like with Signal, whatever people use these days for text messaging, but being able to like have their own little group messaging.
I use Hangouts.
Hangout, yeah.
Okay, well, ladies,
notification.
Thank you.
Yeah, sorry, that was me.
If
My
you've got
daughter was
other
texting me. On behalf of the iMoot team, I would like to thank you. Thank you. Yes, the notifications were going off. Perfect timing, right? I would like to thank you both for presenting this for us today. And next up will be Vinny, and he's going to be, I just lost the title of it, Teaching with Moodle. So please join us next to see Vinny Teaching with Moodle. Thank you, ladies, again. I'm going to turn off the recording now.
If anybody wants to contribute their ideas or look at what's already going on in development in forums or in any messaging, whatever, sign up for Tracker and keep an eye on what's happening in tracker.moodle.org, and make sure that you are aware of what's happening in the community and put forward ideas, keep conversations going, so you can be part of the voice of change for Moodle. Yep. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.